So hi everyone, I'm Charisse, I'm from Swingvy, and thank you for your time now to actually join our webinar. Today we're going to talk about Singapore government rulings about safe measurements, reopening of offices, and what do we need to prepare. So these are actually important. Sometimes we do understand that it might be a lot of content to digest when we will catch our PM Lee who talk and our various ministers. So now we're here to actually give you a very good guidelines to it so that you can follow. All right, so let's start. Let me just share my screen. Okay, so today we are talking about transition between phase 1 to phase 2 and how do employers prepare and manage reopening of offices in Singapore. So I'm sure that some of your businesses, actually just a handful of them, are starting to open, but most of the offices are still working from home. So it's very important to know all these facts about what to prepare, like hand sanitizers, what measurements you need to look out for, 1 meter distancing within office and all. So we'll cover in today's topic, okay? And we'll also cover about employees' welfare. So before we start, for those who are on Facebook, remember to like and share our posts so that we can share this information throughout in Singapore. Okay, so let's start. So general considerations for the agenda today, it's general considerations for reopening of businesses, health and safety precautions, as well as how you can adopt cloud solutions to help you with it and any digital methods, how to manage your employees through this period. Because now reporting is very important. You need to know when your employee is on leave, when it's not, contact tracing and everything. So this is important. And also another step that we need to think about, welfare and well-being of employees. So this is something that we will cover as well, and how Swingvy can step in to help. At the end of the session, we'll take some Q&A questions. So do remember also to leave your email down. Make sure you don't spell incorrectly. If let's say you want to ask to contact you directly, if we can't take your questions during live, remember to leave your contact down so we can reply you. All right? So for those who are on Facebook, we have Slido. So do scan the QR code or go slido.com, type in the code Swingvy, and you can just ask questions along the way. Our team will be there to actually answer your questions for those who are on Zoom. So for those who are on Zoom, feel free to go Q&A and just post in your questions, okay? So end of the day and end of the webinar, we will actually take these questions. So impact of COVID-19 has really taken us by surprise, and it is a global pandemic. This is something that is a known fact now, and I think people around the world or around the globe are already used, to wearing masks, to the lifestyles, to actually changing their habits or the way that they operate gradually. So this is something that we recognize, and the businesses that are affected mainly, actually it's small to medium enterprises, when they are also struggling to how to keep afloat. We do see news online to say that, or articles saying that certain small businesses are closing down. So how do you actually come in to step in to help and even keep your business afloat? So what the Singapore government advised? Coming into it for safe work, Singapore government advice for Ministry of Health for the first phase for the list of businesses to allow to return to office, to their physical office place, accordance to Annex A. So for example, the essential services, health and social services, even manufacturing. So for certain office, there's actually a list. Do not worry, at the end of the webinar, we will actually email to all of you the slides with the link. So do remember to leave down your contact so we can just send all this information to you. Okay, so Annex A, in there is a list and there is also description, for example, pet services and all, what to look out for. So the list of business in the Annex A. So there is actually an Annex B where there's a gradual resumption of business in that portion where Singapore government is going to update us later. But then that's where the transition from Annex A to Annex B, phase 2 will expect much more businesses to actually open, really full scale opening up and start going back to work. So of course, the very tip top that we need to know is that you are encouraged to telecommute where possible. Meaning, if let's say your office work or your operations, your business operations can function work from home basis, government encourage, please do so, because this is actually trying to reduce the likelihood of any potential spread of COVID-19, especially local transmission. go to office, as of now in phase one, go to office only when it's demonstrably necessary. If you need to sign a contract and it has to be face by face and there is no choice, yes, then you go for it. However, if it can be done by e-sign using technology, please do so. And also for those businesses that want to apply to actually start and to send their employees by batches going back to office, they need to go and submit their manpower details through the Go Business Portal. So the link is also provided there within 2 weeks of the date of resumption of operations. Okay, and besides the Annex A and Annex B of what type of businesses can return back to work to their physical office, there's also a sector-specific guideline. So we include that as well. And in there will be the different sectors of what to look out for. Okay, so let's dive in even deeper. There are requirements for safe management measures at the workplace by MOM. So there's 3 categories that we're looking at: your worker, your workplace, as well as if those who may become unwell at your workplace. So these are the 3 categories we need to look out for and what to prepare. Okay, number 1, take care of your workers. So of course, the tip top again to emphasize, actively enable your workers to work from home. So this is really the top number 1 that we encourage. There are some businesses that shared with me to say that they are working from home until August and even September. So these are the steps that their business wants to take. Reason being is because they really want to minimize the likelihood of any employees who might or maybe might be a suspect case, just in case. So they want to minimize that and just play safe. Yes, go ahead. Okay. For employees who are unable to work from home, employers should consider to review their work processes, meaning for any manual processes, can it be done through technology? Can you adopt that? So this is something that you can relook into the entire process. And maybe with technology, you can actually streamline certain things. Also, like I mentioned, to encourage to leverage technology is also to ensure business continuity and safe management. So safe management is really the very core criteria that we're trying to emphasize here. Conduct virtual meetings as much as possible to reduce physical meetings as much as possible. So I'm pretty sure that by now you know how to use Zoom, you know how to use Google Meet, whereby Skype, even FaceTime. So whichever means that are important for that you know that you can actually utilize, do utilize it. Okay, so at least you can keep yourself safe. Cancel and defer all events and activities that are close or prolonged contact. Try not to get your events or any small-scale events even exceeding half an hour or 1 hour. Okay, pay attention to those vulnerable employees. So that includes the older employees, the pregnant, or employees who have underlying medical condition. They are at higher risk, so please consider them. And also, if let's say they have a certain role that gives them a higher exposure to human contact, do actually consider changing their roles at this period of time. Okay, and of course, when your employees return to work, do arrange for staggering work hours and break hours. Do not lunch together. So you're not encouraged to lunch together. Okay, so everything separately. And work hours should enable employees to avoid peak hour travel. So even for those offices with 9 to 6 p.m., maybe you want to relook into splitting the hours so that you can avoid the peak hours of traveling in public transport. So try to stagger it. Okay, right. So implement shift and split team as well as between every batch of employees. So let's say you divide into 2 groups depending on the size of your company. Okay, so there's team A, team B. So when team A comes to work, maybe Monday, Wednesday, and team B is Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, everyone work from home, for example. Okay, then what you can do is that for Monday, after team A has worked in office, everyone should be delegated a 15 to half an hour space, depending on how big your office is, to clean and disinfect the office to prepare for the next batch, and the cycle should go on. Okay, so you should clean up of common areas during split or shifting changeover. And also, like I mentioned, do not socialize. Do not go for drinks after work. Try not to do that. Even in phase 2, try to minimize all that. Okay, so in phase 1 is no. And of course, to wear masks at a workplace, please also review the environment of your office. Sometimes it might not be your office, sometimes it might be warehouse, factories or kitchens, do review the conditions, because for certain employees, like we mentioned, maybe hired at risk, those elderly or those who are pregnant, they might have a little bit difficulty in breathing, or harder to breathe, or those with pre-existing conditions. So please ensure that the environment is also good for them to actually wear masks prolonged. Otherwise, if possible, work from home. And of course, next is to emphasize to every employee to practice personal hygiene. So personal hygiene is very important. Do ensure that in your workplace, there is soap available, because no matter what, washing hands with soap thoroughly will actually reduce the spread of COVID. Okay, because our hands touches everywhere. So washing hands are very important. The next point, second point, take care of your workplace. So control the access to the workplace, and only essential employees and authorized visitors can visit. So do actually emphasize this and register your every visitor that's coming in through Safe Entry Visitor Management System. So for this, every company, please go into the link to go and register, and also take temperature during entry of anyone, as well as twice daily to monitor your employees. So when you go into Safe Entry, you'll be able to register for a company. So there'll be a QR code where you can scan and allow your visitors to scan and check in, even your employees. Okay, so do download that. Of course, to adhere to travel advisory. So currently borders are not open yet, but when borders are open, because now currently that government is looking through, there might be selected ones that are available. So please adhere to that. Download Trace Together app. So we have Trace Together app released by government. Do download it. For Android, it can be run in the background. For Apple, you have to keep the app on every time. Okay, you cannot close the app and all. All right, you have to keep the app turned on. But the next phase that what Singapore government, the latest one that they're announcing, is that they want to have a wearable device for everyone in Singapore. But before they have that, please mandate your employees to download Trace Together, because we all have a part to play, okay, as one Singapore. Control access at your workplace also to essential employees and authorized visitors, as mentioned earlier on, because we need to minimize the physical touch points. Okay, so step up cleaning of workplace premises throughout the whole entire place as well. Each batch, of course, to clean before they leave. Provide cleaning and disinfecting agents and care packs for employees. So such thing as hand sanitizers, even small bottles, one for employee, or the big one at different points, one at entry, at every entry point and exit point. Even at the toilet, make sure you top up your hand soaps, and if possible, some wet tissues as well, so that you can start cleaning up. Take care of your workers also who becomes unwell at workplace. So if your employees goes to work and if they have symptoms, please encourage them to report and inform. Okay, do not just brush it off as, oh, it's just a mild cold. Yeah, let's just all play safe. Okay, so touching on the topic that we mentioned, have also an evacuation plan. So you have to see for your office when is the exit or entry, what routes that they can take. So in case there's unwell cases, please ask your employee to see a doctor immediately. If they have fever or they suddenly faint on the floor, please call the ambulance, please call the hotline, please get them help immediately, and minimize contact with the rest of the employees. Also, for confirmed cases, immediate evacuation of the place should take place, as well as disinfect of the entire place. If, let's say, should a suspect case be confirmed. So please do that regularly. Actively also monitor unwell employees, get them to update yourself, and also to guard against any outbreaks that's incoming. Okay, so ensure that also each employee visits one clinic, so that the records and the progress of the health is being maintained by the clinic itself, to make it simple. In any case, if the employee goes to different clinics, please get them to inform you. So these records are also have to be kept as well. Okay, yeah. So why has it to be kept? Every business must appoint a safe management officer, SMO. So this is something that you need to appoint in the office workplace, because you need to implement all that what I've mentioned earlier on for a detailed monitoring plan. So an SMO is required for each business, each office, to coordinate and implement safe management measures. So in the workplace, there must be 1 meter, at least 1 meter apart. okay, radius, 1 meter radius around each employee. Also, to conduct inspection and checks, to also remedy any non-compliance. If you see any of the staff or any of the workplace, work environment do not comply, please step in immediately. Okay, inspect, and check through. And always emphasize to your team. And to also keep record of this inspection, checks, any correction actions, who are unwell, keep a record where they have been, and which doctor they have seen, at which location, which part, when they are on leave. So these are all important. So if you are still doing a manual process, we'll share later on how to automate this as well. Okay, because when government comes in, when they need to do contact tracing, they will come and approach the SMO of your company to get this information. So these are vital. Right, we'll send the slides to you as well. So there's covidgobusiness.gov.sg. This is the infographics. If you want, you can always print it out, stick at your office place, or send to every of your employees. The link is available there as well. Please read, please emphasize this. Okay, so besides, after reviewing physical environment, after you assess and you know what to prep now, if you have any questions also, you can continue to ask us. And let's also review work process, because like Lawrence Wong, our National Development Minister, has mentioned that this is becoming the new way of work. Digitalization, technology is changing the way that we are working. There are so many new things that we can actually take and we look into the processes. So let's review that together, because government encourage now working from home as much as possible. So how do you cope with that? And if it's not possible, to also review our current operations and how we can incorporate technologies for both scenarios to minimize physical touch points. So we review that together. Some food for thought. So is your HR actually being done manually? Because when we talk about, leave coming in, when is my staff on leave, when's my worker on leave, who is here, who is not here, and every other operations that comes with it. This is actually HR, human resource. So is it done manually? If it's done manually, then maybe it's really time for you to review. So have you provided employee welfare to them as well? And how to actually retain good employees? Because when COVID started, there's a lockdown for about 2 months, and we understand some businesses actually let go some of the new hires due to budget constraint and due to this new change, especially for those who have a brick and mortar stores, for example. So a lot of businesses are actually affected. But the remaining employees that you have also, you want to retain them because they are experienced. So how do you do that? Do you actually have a welfare for them? Because now businesses are starting to resume. Yeah, is there any welfare that you have covered for them? So let's review our process first. How are you managing? Are you doing Excel? Are you doing paper? Are you doing legacy or just by memory? Because if you are managing in all this, it's very hard, as some workers are working from home, some people are in various places. Your admins who help you to maintain all this are working from different locations. So it's time for you to actually think through. There are a lot of pain points. Like they have to keep abreast of, what are the new statutory calculations? Different salary range pays different CPF and even different SHG contribution. SHG is the 4 races that we have: Chinese, Malay, Eurasian, Indian. And actually every of your salary tiers, the contribution amount is different, from 50 cents to $3, for example. It's very, very time consuming when you do it manual. So more than 50% of SMEs in Singapore are actually still on manual Excel. Okay, not surprising. And filing also, you have to do a lot of filing and a lot of hassle to do claims. So even if they find a lot of problems with work from home now, how do I submit the paper claims? So what kind is hindering you? It's actually a lot of times it's more of like, it's very unfamiliar to us. Like, how does this work? How do I go about it? And my company is too small and all that. However, what you don't realize is there's no such thing as too small. You can actually lighten your load. You can actually start coordinating, planning, reporting, getting all your employees' information all in one. And you can also plan your employee welfare all together. Okay? Because you really need to think about accelerating the adoption for digital capabilities for your company. Because with contact tracing coming in, with reporting, measurements requirements at the workplace, technology actually becomes a need and not a want anymore. It's like a need and a vital part. So for example, one important technology is cloud. Okay, a need meaning that maybe we go back to 20-30 years time before internet came up. We are all, leading a very, some people might say, simple life, playing five stones, hopscotch. And now when internet comes, and I pose the question back to you, can you survive without internet? I would say maybe 80-90% would say no. Okay, we are always on our mobile phones. We need internet to do business. Internet is a vital part, even personal life and even for business. So this is actually a next step in the new phase where all the businesses are stepping in and moving towards. So let's go this together, go this journey together. So what is cloud? Cloud is something like, for example, have you used Facebook? Have you used Instagram? Or even your email, Gmail? They're all cloud-based. So cloud is actually a very, very secure data storage place for you to manage your own information and extract it at any place, anytime, just with internet. Okay, so it actually, for short, gives you the mobility to work anywhere and anytime. Same goes for your app, your phone. You use internet, you access to any games, you access to anything. It's all online now. So how will these new ways of work impact the workplace and your team, as well as your company? So let's talk about employees now, okay? Because employees are important. So employees are key assets to your company. And this one, I'm sure you know. It takes really a good old team who are experienced in running the operations of your business to also ensure survival of your business. Okay, so choosing the right cloud HR solution is important. Things that you can consider are functions, size, security, PDPA, accessibility, user-friendly, easy to understand, whether does it comply to statutory, whether they have bank files, whether you have mobile app, because mobile is important, right? We do everything on mobile now. Customer service support, whether there's training, because no matter any product that you buy, you can buy a fridge, you can buy a laptop. What's important? When you buy a laptop or a computer, customer service is important, because when you need help, there must be someone professional to help you. So that's important. So that's where Swingvy comes in as well. So we are integrated cloud-based software for HRIS, leave, claims, payroll, employee benefit. So that's where we talk about employee welfare as well as mobile app. So essentially, we really believe that people matter, your employee matter, and you matter as well. So we want to make cloud technology solution easy for SME businesses to implement, help them to start their reopening of offices, and prepare safe management in the workplace. So that's why we are stepping in to try to share as much knowledge as we can through webinars with you. So of course, the hardest step is always the first step, right? So how do you start actually? You can start by creating announcement, guidelines, news, policies, your safe management monitoring plans, your leave and claims, how do you set for your employees to take, with this new work arrangement, your BCP plans for any unforeseen circumstances. So in case if any need arise, you can just transit to a remote working situation. You can also run your employees' data, payroll at the comfort of your home, not even worrying about, when this salary tier goes up, I need to change statutory and so forth. So all these are all automatically updated, right? And also to set relief welfare support for your employees. So this is very important. So what are the functions under Swingvy? So we have HRIS, which is news, announcement, employee directory. We also have employee self-service as well. There's also leave that you can take with mobile app. There's also claims where you can also submit online, integrated to payroll, and that's where you can submit your payroll in it. We are IRAS vendor. We are on AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, so it's very, very secure cloud. And all the statutory are all automatically updated according to government's new announcements. Okay, CPF and bank files provided, as well as onboarding, probation, and even approval levels. So, like I mentioned, employees are really your key assets, and to ensure the survival of your business, good employees are really, really hard to come by. So it's really time for you to start caring for them. Okay, so how do you actually provide employee welfare? So linking back to, preparing your office for any of, your workplace, 1 meter distancing and all. So how do you actually also care for them? Because you need to do a kind of review the employee benefit that you actually give to them. So Swingvy benefit, we are here to actually just share with you, like if, let's say you have a existing medical hospitalization insurance plan for your staff. Yes, you can actually utilize Swingvy's free module where you can manage your policies online in technology for onboarding and offboarding. Or you can actually directly get your medical insurance for your staff on the platform itself. Okay, so we provide the technology behind it. And also another thing is flex cash and flex benefit. If you have a budget, for example, maybe $200 per year for per employees to claim for medical, you can do that method as well. So let's dive something deeper. We want to encourage and help you to implement all this with technology. So reviewing back for employees, so now employees are returning to work. One of the top heavy considerations is that they want better medical benefit. So this is something that is really the tip top. Used to be 53%, after COVID, now it's much higher. Okay, so Swingvy benefit helps you with enrollment, helps you with managing and helping you to even let your employees see what they are being covered. So that's important. So benefit store, you can actually get instant quotation, you can select your employees, you can enroll, or you can even upload your existing plans on it with no cost. Okay, so for that, we will definitely help you and step in. Your employees will be able to see of what kind of plans that they are being covered. They will be able to search for nearby panels and get a comprehensive claim guide as well. All right, and next part, which is flex cash. So I'm sure certain terms, sometimes you're not familiar. You might think that flex benefit, I just give my staff, every time I cover consultation, $10 or $20 that they can claim. Yes, actually you can use technology to do that. Okay, so with Swingvy benefit claim, you can actually set up your annual cycle, your currency, and set a limit per year. So which means if they don't use in that year, it will just be gone. And then the next year will reset again. And we will prorate according to when the employees join. Okay, so these are things that you can implement and can use it in the system itself. So now we want to share a bit more about how Swingvy's team is actually managing remote work. So for us itself, we are in 4 countries, Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan, and South Korea. So we are in 4 different countries, and there was a point of time that all of us are working from home. So we do a lot of Zoom, we do a lot of Google Meet, we have a lot of meetings online, we share a lot, we plan a lot, and we actually also manage and take our leaves, do our claims, submit all online in one platform. And this actually gives us a very strong culture, because we really believe that employees, having this strong cohesive culture together, everyone matters, so people matter. So we want to give the same kind of support to all of you and to really help you through this journey. We believe in helping the SME community to be as simple and easy to understand, to provide this simplicity so that it's easier for you to actually adopt and step into technology. Okay, so you don't need to worry. There will be training and guidance support. There will be also our very prompt, very prompt customer success team that actually will step in to help you during office hours. But not to worry, don't have to think if your company size is too small or too big. If you need any advisory, approach us. If you need any help, you can ask us. There will be account managers for each and every one of you. Okay, so we want to help your business by making work life more enjoyable and easier with technology. We want to teach you how to take that step, but also how in this way to reduce physical touch points and limit the spread of COVID-19, because every single one of you and your employees and your family has a part to play. Everyone in Singapore, everyone globally. So before we go to Q&A, I really like to share next week on 15 June at 3 p.m. Swingvy is very honored to organize this co-webinar together with Singapore FinTech Association, which is a branch out from MAS. So for this, we are actually talking about post-pandemic financial advisory and support for SMEs, financial institutions, and FinTech firms. So government has released a lot of grants. So one of it, the SFA, has came up with is Digital Acceleration Grant. So they will be elaborating a lot of things about how you can utilize it, about how you can tap in. So if you want to ask any questions, please come by. There is a QR code there for you to RSVP. So if you're watching this now on Facebook, you're watching this on Zoom, scan the QR code. I give you a few seconds. You can just sign up. It's free. We don't charge. As what we share, we really like knowledge sharing. So we're just here to actually help you through. We also have AFA, which is Association of Financial Advisors Singapore, from the association board. So you can also ask them about questions, things that what you can do as an employer. And also the founder of FinTech Alliance, very, very experienced professional. So you can always post your questions, okay? Our CEO will be there to share more as well. So I'll leave a few seconds for you to scan this, or if you want to take a picture, it's fine. We will also send a slide to you, but you can just register now. Yeah. Okay, so now it's time for Q&A. So we are going to take some of the questions from the audience for all of you are watching there. Okay, so there are a few questions, for example, from City. There is a few expats who want to enter to Singapore. Does that mean that they still have to be quarantined for 14 days? Currently, to enter into Singapore, the borders are closed. So it's only for Singapore PR, and those with long-term pass or work pass. So only for those group of people that are allowed to enter Singapore. Otherwise, currently they can't. So I encourage you to actually do remote work. So does Swingvy provides doctor online call for officers in case employees are sick? So Swingvy, currently what we do is that we have one platform for you to manage your welfare, meaning that if you have, for example, a medical insurance and you have panel clinics, you can directly go into Swingvy, into the panel clinic, the GP, to go and see a doctor. Okay, you can go directly and show your medical card. From Mavis, can you elaborate more about Swingvy's benefit? Is it insurance from Swingvy or authentic insurance company? Okay, so for Swingvy itself, we integrate with Aviva. Aviva is the insurance provider. Swingvy actually provides the technology behind it. So what does it mean is that, for example, you have all your employees onboarded on Swingvy, okay, for example, and then later on under benefit, you can enroll selected group of employees if you wish to get an instant quotation and do it within 5 minutes. It's really fast because all the information are there. So because we have this direct integration, so once you get the plan, it will be uploaded onto benefit itself, into Swingvy's platform all in one. You can even manage on board or off board on Swingvy's platform. So if let's say one of your staff leaves and you click terminate them from the system, from your company, automatically it will be captured, and the offboarding for insurance will also be done as well. Okay, so it's also convenient all in one, right? Let's see if there's any more questions. From Li Ling, is social psychological workplace well-being being considered as well? For Li Ling, as in, do you mean to reopen the workplace? Maybe you can just share with me a little bit more in terms of in what area being considered. Yeah, for Aliman, how can we use Swingvy benefit? Is it expensive? So Swingvy benefit for medical insurance, we do not charge. So direct payment is actually directly to the insurance provider. Always remember that no matter which insurance provider that you go with, okay, the coverage and the money the charges are the most important. So why we chose Aviva to integrate with is because they are really the top tier employee insurance coverage for medical, for corporate, for your employees. They are really there with very affordable prices and very good coverage with no co-payment. So this is something that you can consider. But if let's say you use other providers, you can still upload onto the platform. We don't charge for that. Okay, we provide the technology. Okay.
Hi, Charisse.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's one very relevant question with regard to what you asked just now. They actually wanted to understand about how the Swingvy platform, insurance in the Swingvy platform, is there any charge? I know you mentioned about no charge. Maybe you can explain why there's no charge for the Swingvy insurance platform or the Swingvy benefits platform.
Yeah, okay, so we actually do not charge for that because we want to encourage people to actually step in the first step to adopt technology and to actually manage all their policies online, paperless, onto Swingvy. So this is on Swingvy's end that we do not impose this charge on. Yeah, so that is the reason why the motive that we want to actually encourage and just help businesses. That's the reason why. Does that answer the question?
Yes, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So this also answers Aliman's question about how can we utilize Swingvy's benefit? Is it expensive? So over here, I answer your cost. Actually, we do not charge for Swingvy benefit at all. You have current plans, just upload to us for free. If you do not have plans and you want to explore, really rest assured, just get a free quotation, just ping us. We can guide you through it. We can link you up with Aviva as well, together with my team. And that's when we can guide you through and really suit to your budget with the maximum coverage and maximum plan as much as we can fit, okay? As much as Aviva can fit. So are there any different parameters to follow for big and medium-sized company after lockdown ends? Okay, so when we mention about the parameters in terms, I am interpreting this as the physical workplace, right? So which means that what I mentioned earlier about the office space, that 1 meter distancing and all. Yes, this is something that big and medium-sized companies have to also follow after lockdown ends. So actually lockdown circuit breaker is already over and we are in phase 1. So you can consider that as like it ends, but your business industry or your business type might not be under Annex A. So if it's under Annex B or let's say in phase 2 that you can return, yes, you still need to follow the guidelines. Okay, so you download Trace Together app, take entry. Please also go to Safe Entry and go register your business. So this is important. Please go and do so. All right. If really you need to reopen again, please go and apply from Go Business Government SG. Okay, so we include this all in the slides as well, the link. Can you elaborate more about Swingvy benefit? Is it insurance from Swingvy or authentic insurance company? So like I mentioned, Swingvy benefit, we provide the technology. So we want to actually automate and streamline the entire process of how you can actually get employees' welfare securely, but also to streamline the process, to make it easier and simpler. So that even if, let's say, you do not have a HR professional to come in, it's okay. A lot of them actually use admin. And we also have clients who have a more elderly admin who are actually using Swingvy. So that's the reason why it's so easy to manage. And that's what we want to achieve. So it is directly from the insurance provider itself, Aviva. Okay, how can we use your platform? It seems to be simple and easy to use. Any trial plans? Yes, we do give 14 days trial. For benefit itself, for you, if let's say you want to purchase any medical insurance through our platform, you can do so. It's free. We don't charge. So you can just hop onto it as well. And even you can upload employee profile and manage on Swingvy's platform. So for employees profile, we are on freemium. So those two are actually free lifetime. So that's where you can utilize and just hop on. We are here to actually help you through the whole COVID period. Okay. Wendy, any more questions from?
Nope, no questions on the floor right now. All good.
Yeah. Okay, so if let's say you have any more questions now, you can either PM drop a private message in our Facebook. For Zoom itself, you can leave under Q&A, leave your contact, your details, your email. Make sure you leave the correct one so we can send the slides to you. If you want to share the slides also, feel free to do so. Remember to adhere to the guidelines that Singapore government requires. If you have any more questions that you need to clarify, you can always approach us. So yeah, let me just leave the last slide. So I'll go back to this slide again. So before you go, remember we have this by SFA, by AFAS and FA together with our CEO, Jin. So this is a very, very useful live webinar. Do sign up, go for it, and really hear what are the more grants and support that government is giving. Okay, especially for the SME financial institutions, small FIs or FIs in general, all the FIs and all the fintech firms, fintech companies. If you are providing technology that helps to solve certain things in the financial industry, then yes, this applies as well. All right. So thank you so much for your time. And I will see you all soon again next week.
Swingvy.